want beards and lattes.
Great.
Your best players need to be your best players this time of year. Marchand has done that in the series. Pasta needs to step up.
It was a great regular season for Pastrnak. 47 goals, 110 points, comfortably the team leader in both. But he hasn't been himself in these playoffs. 2 goals and just 4 points through 6 games of these playoffs led to his own coach calling him out. Now, on the other side, we had another 88 in William Nylander, who was noticeably out of this series the first 3 games, but came back and scored the only 2 goals for the Leafs in their 2-1 victory of Game 6. So, coming into what was now a 4th consecutive Game 7 between these two clubs, the question was, would it be a number 88 who would be the difference maker? And spoiler, the answer was yes. Now, in typical Leafs fashion, where the drama never sleeps, pre-game we learned that while in big news, Matthews was back, Wall was out, which meant we got Samsonov between the pipes for Toronto and Swayman for the Bruins. And as things got started, with what was on the line, it was a tight one. Both teams testing the Stars early to see just how healthy they really were. And neither team wanting what laid at the end of what a loss meant here meant we got a hard-fought battle paired with some great goaltending. These guys flashing the leather on both ends of the ice, which only caused tensions to rise as the game went on. And while the Leafs have had years of frustration, to me it was actually the Bruins who faced the more humiliating possibility, trying to avoid becoming the first team in not just NHL history, but also in MLB and NBA history to be reverse swept in consecutive years. Becoming all-time choke artists was not on Swayman's agenda, as I felt the Leafs had a far better second period, but he kept the Bruins in it, making several key stops in the middle frame. Having said that, Samsonov didn't play bad either. Late now, it's Pasta with a great idea here, but shut down, making a power move towards the net. Samsonov up for the task to keep it a tied game. So, after 40, we now went into the third, still scoreless, and here's where the Bruins did come to life a bit. Brazeau with a little shimmy and a nice chance here. Then Pasta again with some space and another beautiful move to get to the net, fakes the shot, and with his creativity gets off a backhand, but Samsonov there again. And then we got a puck over the glass where, sure enough, it's a Leafs fan with a Nylander jersey that got it. So naturally, just a minute later, Bertuzzi forces a turnover to Matthews. He gets it over to Nylander and he scores. It's 88 with his 3rd straight as the Leafs take the lead. A soft touch to finish it off, but it started with Bertuzzi. After a long shift, he makes a great play to turn it over, and Keefe, with a nice coaching decision, brought Matthews up for this shift, and it paid off. And these same fans were now ecstatic, waving the Bruins fans goodbye. So while the Leafs fans were buzzing, you could certainly feel the tension as there stood just 11 minutes between the Bruins and another all-time choke. And yet, coming right back, it's nice to Marner to the front and another big stop by Swayman on his end, which led to this on the other. The puck's loose. Brazeau puts it on net and it bounces over the net, but it gets over to Lindholm, who shoots and he scores. Through traffic, off Samsonov's shoulder, the post, and in, as we now had ourselves a tied hockey game. The life was back just a minute 21 after the Leafs scored. And so, tied once again, it was as good as overtime, with every shot a potential for a death blow. And in the dying seconds now, it's Nylander to Holmberg, and Swayman comes up with another. Holmberg was open to seal it, but it didn't matter as it went off Wotherspoon, and imagine this goes in. Final seconds of Game 7, the internet would have lost its mind. But instead, we now went to sudden death overtime, where the Bruins seemed to have more life, and not 2 minutes in, Lindholm sends it in, goes right to the front, and Pasta right there to score and end this series. It's the other 88 showing up on a beautiful play by the Bruins, who catch the Leafs flat-footed, and in the blink of an eye, Pasta rips the heart out of Leaf Nation once again. When it mattered most, David Pastrnak responds to his coach's criticism and ends it in OT. This was a roller coaster of a series once again, but the more things change, the more they stay the same as the Leafs lose it in Game 7 once again. Now, as for the Bruins, they move on to face Florida, a rematch of last year to try to avenge that loss. Should be fun. But yeah, that's about it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it very much, and I'll see you in the next one.